All right. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about goal setting, because this is another tool that you all can use to help with the 4 C's. So you've all, I'm sure that you've all set goals. One way or another, you've set a goal, you've signed up for a race, you've made some kind of step toward a goal. So there are, of course, long-term goals, short-term goals, and then like your goals for your race or whatever it is you're going to do. And long-term goals, here's just some things to think about in terms of triathlon. And really just think about this. What do you enjoy about this sport? What is your dream goal? Like Jeremy said, he wants to do an Ironman next year. What do you need to achieve your dream goal? For Jeremy, he needs to pick a race. I'm just kidding. There's so many races and there's so many like variables about them all, and anyway, we've been talking about it, so anyway, sorry. How committed are you to your goal, and what's your overall goal for this season, for example, because this season is underway. And then, okay, short-term goals. These are sort of like your daily training goals. And I bet you guys have heard this before. There's the acronym SMART, where each letter means something. So S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for agreeable, which this is where if you're working with a coach, you and your coach talk about it. If you're not working with a coach, it is a goal that you have, and it's not a goal that like your friend has or something you read on the internet. The R is realistic, and T is time sensitive. So these are just some of the things that are really good to do. And I always think about goals like this. If you set a goal, it needs to be all these things, the SMART, it needs to be all these things, and you will accomplish it. And that's why if it's measurable, if it's agreeable, if it's specific, time sensitive, all of that, realistic, that's kind of a big one. If you set this goal, you will reach it. So just be real specific about it. So the competition goals are what you want to accomplish at a race. It's usually going to be a time goal. And those of you who've worked with me, you guys know when you sign up for a race, we talk about what your strategy is going to be that day. We're going to talk about it. And I don't want you to just show up for a race and just finish it, unless it's your first one, then I do want you to finish it. But I want you to be real specific about how you're going to execute this race. And that's one of the things I love about coaching, is I love helping you have a strategy for your race. And a lot of, and I did this when I first started. I just would show up for the race, and whatever happened, and it was a long time, actually, before I really set some specific goals. And when I did start setting these specific goals, I found out how much more enjoyable it was to finish the race and have met whatever goal I set. All right, so that leads me to another thing that those of you who travel to races with me know that I spend a lot of time for my race day preparation. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of go over some things that you guys may have experienced along with me before. Okay, number 1, train for the race you're signing up for. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, come show up for a race that you have trained for. I see athletes who show up for a race that they're not trained for, and how miserable is that? So, and you guys know me, I don't do a ton of races. And I don't necessarily encourage my athletes to do a ton of races. I'm like, pick 2 this year that you want to kick butt. And dang it, kick butt. And show up ready. Okay, race day. How about actually day before race day? Okay, let me just preface this a little bit. You guys have heard me say this before. A lot of these things for race day preparation is my way of dealing with my nerves for my race. If I can kind of do all these things, then I know that I've taken care of all the things I can control, and everything else is just going to happen the way it's going to happen. So that's why I feel strongly about it, okay? Pick up your race packet as soon as they let you. Look through your race packet, make sure you have everything, because you don't want to show up the morning of the race and you don't have your swim cap and you're trying to find a volunteer to get you your swim cap, because you know if you don't have your green swim cap on, they're going to be talking to you at that wave. Attend the pre-race meeting, because again, like we talked about St. Anthony's, things change. And one of the girls who swims at my swim program at Agnes Scott, she just did that White Lake half Ironman last weekend. They changed the time. They delayed the start time. They told them it was going to be 45 minutes. It ended up being 40 minutes. They left the race site, came back in 35 minutes, luckily, and they changed their time again. So just know what's going on. Attend that pre-race briefing whenever it is. Arrive early to the race site. In fact, be the first one to transition if you can. I always take a chance when I travel with someone else who's driving. Can I talk them into getting there at 5:25? Okay, so anyway, yes, I like to get to transition early because I can get a good spot on the rack, and I have time to set up my transition area, and then I can get the heck out of there when all the last minute people come and they're all nervous, and I don't really want to be around that. I have my own problems. Walk through transition in the morning. Like, know where you're going to come in for the swim, know where you're going to go out for the bike, know where your bike's coming in, and know where you're going out for the run, know where your rack is, know how many racks you're back, where your bike is. Just all that preparation that you don't have to be like, crap, because you guys know this, volunteers, sometimes they don't know what's going on. They are showing up that morning. So as long as you are prepared and you can control yourself, I think it helps. Walk down to the water in the morning and see where the buoys are. Because like, again, St. Anthony's, it changed. You may have done that race 10 years in a row. Well, now all of a sudden, the swim course is not here. It's actually down here. And sometimes the race director will post the swim course, but race morning, it may have changed. They didn't put the buoys out for Clemson until like 20 minutes before the race. So we were standing there waiting. So, yeah, okay. Know what wave you're in, if it's a wave start, and know your swim cap color. And not only that, know the swim cap color of the wave ahead of you, so you can be ready to get lined up when that wave ahead of you goes. And sometimes what I like to do is just, if all my little chores are taken care of, I just like to go to a quiet place and just kind of be by myself. Have your race start strategy set in your mind. Know where you're going to line up. We have a choice at Clemson because we all had to start in the water, so that was kind of different. Not a lot of races do that. And Juanica is a good example of a tough girl because she did not wear her wetsuit. Wetsuits help you be more buoyant in the water. And we're out there starting in the water, and she's like not as buoyant as she was used to with her wetsuit when she practiced her open water swim. And so for her to just get over it for her first race, get on her back, make some forward progress, and then flip over and swim is awesome. Have a plan, like if something's going to go wrong during the race. For example, make sure you know how to change a flat. I hope I don't need to really tell anybody that. But know how to change a flat. Practice it at home where it's nice and comfortable. Have all your tools and stuff on your bike. There's nothing worse than getting a flat and not having the tools to change it. Know what your nutrition plan is going to be. That's more important for longer races. But know your nutrition plan, and you might want to just think about plan B, just in case. Plan for the run, especially if you're someone who does like the run walk. Know what your plan is going to be for that run walk. Are you going to do 3 minutes running and 1 minute walking? Know your plan and follow it. So those are just kind of the things that will help you overcome some of the fears or anxieties for race day, just kind of right off the bat. It's just having all that preparation.
Everyone in here should have a goal. Does everyone have, who does not have a goal for what they want to do? Does everyone have a goal?
Excellent.
Perfect. One of the things I want to say to you about goal setting make sure it's consistent. It's one thing to say I want to run faster, I want to get my time down by 5 minutes, and you only do it one time. You want to have that consistency. Make them specific, like Maury said. Make them very specific. Don't make them loose. Make them attainable and realistic. 53 minutes to 44 minutes takes time. It's not going to be next week. Tell someone, chart it. You're in this club for a reason. Tell someone, tell Coach Martin, let her know, this is what I want to achieve. Tell your boyfriend, girlfriend, tell your mom, aunt, so they can ask you about it. You'll be surprised what asking you about it will do. All of us when we're in school, man, I got a test on Friday. And your roommate, did you set it for your test? Nah, not yet. And you come back, did you set it for your test? All right, I'm about to go do it now. And then you'll go study for your test. How many of us have been? I know I did. I told them on purpose because they asked me 100 times. And then what happens next? What happens when you meet your goal? Know that when you set your goal, what happens when you meet it? Go achieve another goal. Okay, just make sure that it's consistent. Okay, that's on that. But the things that we had, when you were saying, when you were saying that when y'all on the bike, you were saying keep your composure. Those are called cue statements. Like something to cue you back on task. You were in the water and it didn't go right. Something to cue that boom shakalaka 1 2 3 4. That's a cue statement. You see a lot of times when you see like athletes jump in the air or things like that, or those are cue statements. That's like a light switch, game time. Let's go. Cue statements. I'm not doing good. You're looking around, back on task. That's a cue statement. You're telling yourself to get back on task, which is actually a great self-talk, positive motivator. And I know I'm kind of sticking to the same things on purpose because I want you to leave here going, you talking about positive talk and goal setting. So that's what we're talking about. So that's one thing. That cue statement is a good thing. That's a good thing that you did for them. A lot of us don't. Of course, we don't have a brother who's doing it for us. So you got to do it for yourself. You have to have that Peachtree, Tri Club member saying, "Let's go." Feels good in the middle of a race.